It was supposed to be the pride of the UK's Royal Navy, a symbol of Britain's military might and global reach. But the reality has been quite different. Despite a lot of investments and efforts by the British Army, the carrier has been plagued by technical issues, leading to a series of mishaps and setbacks that would eventually lead to its demise. In fact, the HMS Prince of Wales has gained the tag of unlucky ship due to a series of unforgiving incidents that have occurred during her service. In this video, we'll be diving into the unfortunate story of the UK's HMS Prince of Wales, an aircraft carrier that has been plagued with problems since its inception. So let's dive in and explore why this carrier has been so unlucky and what it means for the future of the UK's military. The story of HMS Prince of Wales. It all started in 2010, when the British government ordered 2 aircraft carriers. However, they realized they only needed one and wanted to scrap the second aircraft carrier. But the Navy had already placed the order for 2. Now, what to do? Well, it turns out that the cost of scrapping the carrier and paying the penalties would have been even more astronomical than just completing its construction. So, despite the government's wishes, the HMS Prince of Wales soldiered on. But that's not even the craziest part. The government then planned to either sell her off to a foreign ally or completely shut off the ship right away. Talk about a waste of taxpayer money. However, the more we delved into the story, the more we realized that there's more to the unlucky ship than meets the eye. Initially, the fate of this powerful aircraft carrier was uncertain, with the British government considering selling it off or retiring it early. But as luck would have it, fate intervened in the form of a NATO summit in 2014, where Prime Minister David Cameron made a surprise announcement that the carrier would be commissioned after all. And a year later, the decision was finalized. The HMS Prince of Wales would join the Royal Navy. But this was just the beginning of the drama. In December 2019, just months before the carrier was set to be commissioned, calls to deactivate it began to resurface, and they continue to this day. In fact, as recently as February 2023, politicians have been pushing to decommission the ship in order to save money. It's a roller coaster of a story and one that's far from over. Lack of funding. One of many reasons for the call for this carrier to be dumped is the lack of funds and resources in the British Army. Despite the grandeur of its history, the UK Armed Forces are facing a tough time. According to a senior Conservative MP, the British Armed Forces would only last 5 days in a war. That's a worrying prospect, especially when you consider the fact that the British Army is currently the smallest it has been in 4 centuries. In fact, a senior US general recently made the shocking statement that the British Army is no longer considered a top-tier force and is barely even classified as Tier 2. And it's not just the Army feeling the pinch. The Royal Navy is also struggling, with less than half the ships it had during the Falklands War. This comes at a time when the British military is facing mounting equipment costs, inflation, and a decline in real military spending. In short, the British military is in dire need of funding, but the government seems to be turning a blind eye. Difficulties. Unfortunately, that's not all. The HMS Prince of Wales has faced a lot more difficulties. In 2020, the ship experienced some major flooding incidents that resulted in severe damage. It turns out that there were design and construction flaws that contributed to these incidents. And if that wasn't enough, the ship's sea trials were already delayed due to technical difficulties. So these flooding incidents caused even more significant delays. But wait, there's more. The carrier has also faced other challenges along the way. The carrier has had a rough start, with numerous technical difficulties hindering its operations. Some of these issues involve the ship's power system, which is crucial for its functionality. Unfortunately, these problems are not isolated incidents and have plagued the vessel since its inception, which raises questions about the quality of its design and construction. But the challenges faced by the HMS Prince of Wales don't exist in a vacuum. They are part of the wider trend of budget cuts to the UK's armed forces, which has left the military struggling to keep its equipment up to date. The cost of replacing equipment is skyrocketing thanks to inflation, and the current plans to increase the defense budget are insufficient to keep up with the rising costs. It's a worrying trend that raises concerns about the readiness and effectiveness of the UK military. HMS Prince of Wales is more than just a ship. It's a symbol of the struggles facing the UK armed forces. From budget cuts to technical difficulties, the carrier has faced its fair share of challenges. But what does the future hold for this massive vessel? Will it continue to serve as a powerful tool for the UK's military, or will it fall victim to budget cuts? The fate of HMS Prince of Wales is uncertain, but what is clear is that the issues it faces are not unique. The UK's military spending is under pressure and the consequences could be severe. We hope this video has shed some light on the situation, and we'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. And as you know, aircraft carriers are indeed a testament to modern technology. It is a sight to behold when a plane lands on a 300-feet runway in the middle of the ocean. But have you wondered what's underneath that? It might amaze you to find what's below the flight deck of an aircraft carrier. Well, to know more about that, you need to click on this video right here. That would be all for this video. Click this to learn more about the incredible mechanics and behind the scenes of a flight deck. So what are you doing? Click it now.